Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm honoured to rise today to speak to Bill C-11, an act to amend the Holidays Act for Remembrance Day. I want to praise my colleague, the Honourable Member for West Nova, for bringing this bill forward, and also for his tireless efforts on behalf of men and women in the Canadian Armed Forces and our veterans. We are both members of the Standing Committee on Veterans Affairs, and his passion for commemoration of sacrifices made by our veterans is clear. Madam Speaker, I appreciate the opportunity to speak today because I believe that one of the most poignant things that we do as proud Canadians is to join together as a nation and as individuals to recognize and pay tribute to those brave Canadian soldiers, sailors, aviators, who have made this ultimate sacrifice in wartime and in peace, at home and abroad, and to safeguard our values and our way of life. Well before the people of Fundy Royal placed their trust in me to represent them here in Ottawa, I would attend Sussex Remembrance Day ceremonies every year with my family. One of my earliest memories is attending the local ceremonies in my hometown of Sussex, New Brunswick, where veterans and citizens alike paid their respects to those who came before and served our nation with dignity and with their lives. I remember how we stood at the cenotaph alongside the Sussex train station, a place where many of the 300,000 personnel trained at Camp Sussex passed before, during, and after World War I. It was also at this train station where many, but not all, returned home. I remember being a proud 7-year-old in my neatly pressed brownie uniform, standing beside my hero, my veteran, my grandfather. He made my Remembrance Day real, and we together waited for the clock to strike 11:11, and then walked up to the cenotaph to pin our poppies on the white crosses. The act of remembrance remains one of the most important ceremonies for me each year. Since those days, I've had the opportunity to meet many heroes in many communities throughout Fundy Royal and New Brunswick because of the dedication of organizations including the Royal Canadian Legion, cadet units, municipality, and the 8th Canadian Hussars Association. I've witnessed each community's immense pride in their local heroes and contributions to the efforts of the Canadian Armed Forces. Madam Speaker, I'm sure every member of this House can relay their own story of the unique way their communities take pause for the act of remembrance. They do this at cenotaphs, memorials, community halls, auditoriums, hockey rinks, and public squares. As we celebrate Canada's 150th anniversary, we are looking to the future and thinking more than ever what the Canada of tomorrow looks like and the values that we hold dear. A year where we confirm that we are proud of this amazing land, its kind and welcoming people, and the example that we have set for the world. I would agree with my honourable colleague from West Nova that as proud as we are of Canada, we are just as proud of the women and men who have served our country with distinction and with their lives. Madam Speaker, Bill 311 will be another chapter in the progression of our efforts as Canadians to remember. What began as a response to the incredible losses of the First World War, where we lost almost 1 in 10 of the 620,000 men and women of the armed forces, it has evolved into a national tribute to all those who made the ultimate sacrifice and a consistent show of support for our Canadian forces. In 1919, as a response to calls for commemoration to mourn these deaths and pay tribute to those who were returning from the Great War, King George V urged people across the Commonwealth to observe 2 minutes of silence at 11 a.m. local time, and this became Armistice Day. From 1921 to 1930, Canada observed Armistice Day on the first Monday of the week, in which November 11th fell. It was the Canadian Legion who began lobbying Parliament to enshrine November 11th as Armistice Day. In fact, it was one of the original resolutions they had at their founding convention. And in 1931, the Honourable Member from Comox, Alberni, introduced a bill to observe the date as November 11th. Passed by the House of Commons, the bill also changed the name to Remembrance Day, and it was first observed in 1931. Madam Speaker, the member for Central Nova has given us a timely and special opportunity to mark Canada's 150th anniversary by introducing Bill C-311 to change the definition of Remembrance Day in the Holidays Act from a holiday to a legal holiday. Not only will Bill 311 elevate the status of Remembrance Day to the same level as Canada Day and Victoria Day, it will reconfirm the commitment of this House to our veterans, their families, and those who are serving today, and will show our unwavering gratitude for their sacrifice and service. Madam Speaker, those who serve in uniform do it with bravery, honour, and dignity, protecting the values that we cherish the most, and in doing so with their lives. Let each day we enjoy our freedom be a day that we honor them in remembrance. Thank you.
Great job, Alaina.